The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Canseco Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Canseco Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Canseco Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Belabor the point from the Olympics and the whole bronze medal controversy over who's the winner. Because I just got to thinking about this. They awarded the bronze to Ana Barboso from Romania. They've disallowed at this point in time the challenge from Jordan Chiles. She apparently still has her medal. Okay, they gave Barboso a different medal. I don't know that Chiles is going to return her medal. That doesn't mean that she's the bronze medalist. It means she has a bronze medal. And Flavor Flav has followed through with giving her his version of a bronze medal with the clock in it. Okay,
it's nice of him.
Yeah. But the thing that I kind of was thinking about was, if you're Chiles or you're Barboso, you're fighting for something that you didn't win outright, and the girl that won outright, nobody's talking about, and she's a teammate of Barboso, because in all reality she's the bronze medalist, because they misjudged her going out of bounds, which if they had given her that 10th of a point, there wouldn't have been a tie with her and her teammate Barboso. Okay, and then the extra 10th of a point, I believe it would either have at least tied Chiles or maybe even given it to her outright. And the thought I had was, if you're either one of those, in your heart of hearts, you know you didn't win. If everything had been judged properly, you know that you didn't win. Why would you want something that you didn't win?
Yeah, I would guess they probably don't feel that way.
No, clearly they don't. But it's just like, the person to feel the most sorry for is this Sabrina Mancia Bonilla. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but anyway, the bottom line is she's the girl who they said was out of bounds and wasn't, and they appealed that, but that was not allowed. So, but I don't know. I guess I look at it from the standpoint of, to me, the girl that deserves the bronze medal the most is her, because she was judged to be out of bounds when she wasn't. But then you look at sports and go, hey, that's sports sometimes. Sports is littered with, mistakes that have been made on the field of play by an official or umpire or something along those lines where...
It definitely happens.
Yeah. So, it's just, on one hand, you could say that's sports. So, but... Anyway, I just had that thought over the weekend going, why in your heart of hearts, you know that you didn't win, okay? You know that you didn't win. And as a result, you're fighting for something that in your heart of hearts, you know that you didn't actually win. But I guess that's just, like you said, that's just the way it is, because obviously that they were. They were doing that, so I don't know. It just kind of struck me in that way. Saw this over the weekend too, and it kind of surprised me. Two things surprised me. The Oakland A's honored Jose Canseco yesterday.
Okay,
they put him into their Hall of Fame. Okay, I guess he deserves that, but you look at what he did. He cheated, but he's in their Hall of Fame, right? Mm-hmm. So he was emotional, and he was appreciative, and he said all the right things. Others that were honored were Miguel Tejada and Terry Steinbach, and then posthumously, and this stuns me, and maybe it was because of how he left the A's 50 some odd years ago, because he left in a contract dispute with Charlie Finley after his team won back-to-back world championships. They won 3 straight, but he wasn't there for the third one. But they honored manager Dick Williams. And it's just like, What in the world why is it taking 50-plus years to get Dick Williams into the A's Hall of Fame?
That seemed a little odd.
Yeah. Seems, and then they also honored a guy from the Philadelphia A's, Eddie Jost. This weekend was the final Bay Bridge series between the A's and the Giants, which is why they did that. They had a season high of 37,551 there, including Tony La Russa, Dennis Eckersley, and Ricky Henderson were there as well. So the A's are going to be moving on, and I'm going to say this. I'm wondering if they'll, because their financing still isn't done. They haven't broken ground for their new stadium yet. They're still trying to get it figured out. I'm just wondering if they're actually ever going to play in Las Vegas. They're supposed to be there in 2028, but they still got money problems.
Yeah, I would think they're pretty far down the road not to actually get that thing done.
I understand. I'm just saying that it's not
I mean, so what do you think is going to happen?
I think they're going to play somewhere else other than Las Vegas.
Like for long term?
Mm-hmm.
Like in 2028, you think they'll be playing in Seattle or something?
Well, it won't be Seattle.
Or Oklahoma City.
Someplace.
Sacramento
Well, Sacramento's where they're headed.
I know.
But I don't think it'll be Sacramento. I think they'll be playing somewhere other than Las Vegas. I don't think Las Vegas really wants them.
Well, in fairness, they're the A's. I mean, as bad as the White Sox are this year, and they are bad this year,
yeah.
They're not the A's.
Okay.
Anyway,
close.
It's a bold statement for 4 years from now. So we'll see. We'll see if it pans out.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
This day in sports history. Today is Monday, August the 19th, 2024. First full week of school. Here's Jeff McGuire.
You know, start in 1921, Detroit Tigers' Ty Cobb is the fourth player to get 3,000 hits, this one against the Boston Red Sox. He becomes the youngest person ever to achieve 3,000 hits.
Nice.
1957, New York Giants Board of Directors vote 8-1 to move the baseball franchise to San Francisco in 1958. 1969, Chicago Cubs pitcher Ken Holtzman no-hits the Atlanta Braves 3-0 at Wrigley Field.
That was about the last highlight for that team because they blew a lead down the stretch.
Everyone talks about the miracle Mets. They forget about the collapsing Cubbies.
Yes.
I couldn't have been able to tell you which team they overtook.
Yeah.
Yep. Now I know. Thanks, Jeff.
1980, Kansas City Royals George Brett has his hitting streak snapped at 30 games.
He had gone to 400 the day before. That was the latest he got to 400 that year. He'd finished that year with a batting average of 390.
1995, Mike Tyson returns to the ring after serving 3 years in prison and DQs Peter McNeely in 89 seconds.
He DQs him?
Well, he won the fight that quickly.
Okay.
How about KOs him?
It says DQ. I have a feeling that he forced Peter to do something he shouldn't have.
Okay.
Because I thought the same thing, but
Okay.
89 seconds. 2016, Texas Tech's Janine Becky helps Team Canada win their second straight Olympic soccer bronze in a 2-1 win over host Brazil. And in 2023, Philadelphia Phillies shortstop Trey Turner hits 2 solo home runs in the same inning in a 12-3 win over the Nationals in Washington. Happy National Soft Ice Cream Day.
Very nice. You like the soft or you like the... Yeah.
Yes, keep it. Which one? I like both.
Okay.
Yep.
They are both very tasty. Happy birthday, former Red Raider basketball player Andy Ellis turns 44 today. John Stamos, 61. Bill Clinton is 78. Jonathan Frank, 72. Kirk Cousins, 36. Kirk Herbstreit, 55. Gary Gaetti, 66. Ned Yost is 69. And Lon Kruger is 72.
Wow.
And do you guys know the oldest ship in the U.S. Naval Fleet? Do you know what it is?
Was it, I mean, like the current one?
The current oldest ship. It's been the oldest ship for quite some time.
No.
Do not know.
It's the USS Constitution. She was launched in 1797 as the first of 6 frigates. The 3-masted wooden hull ship is still run today by the Navy with its crew and officers on board. Do you know what her nickname is?
Oh, it's like Old Ironside or something?
It is Old Ironside. Very good. Do you know how she got her nickname?
I want to say that another ship fired a cannonball at the Constitution, and the Constitution survived.
The witness described it as the cannonballs bouncing off her white oak wooden hull, like they were made of iron.
Okay, well, give me some credit.
I'm giving you credit for that one,
Yeah.
and that happened on this day in 1812, in the War of 1812, and that is this day in sports history.
All right, this day in
well
sports
done,
history.
Chuck.
Okay. Yeah, I had the Chicago Cub. At least I led you to it, and the Constitution.
Yeah.
Old Ironside.
You got Old Ironsides and knew enough of the story to get you there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So,
Still serving, and you can actually see her in Boston. That is her home port.
Yeah, she's not going out on the.
She is going out on the
she?
ocean. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, she's not in any military combat.
Right.
But yeah, it's a training vessel, and if I remember correctly, like it's you got to be near top of your class to get on it to be a part of her crew.
Wow.
Just like the morning drive.
It's like the morning drive. 6:49 this morning here on the morning drive. I told you about the Oakland A situation, and finally Dick Williams getting into their Hall of Fame. Here's something else that is just kind of stuns me because, and I don't know what their history is for this, but I mean, when you're the only one in history that has done this, I would have thought that you would have already had this done for you. Ohio State University announcing over the weekend that Archie Griffin, the 2-time Heisman Trophy winner, will have a statue unveiled outside of Ohio Stadium on August the 30th. That's the day before they open up the season against Akron. Earlier in the weekend, the Rose Bowl Legacy Foundation had unveiled a statue to honor Griffin in the Rose Bowl Stadium Court of Champions, which marks the 50th anniversary of his first Heisman Trophy award. I mean, if we ever have a Heisman Trophy winner here, I would hope that it wouldn't take 50 years to get a statue up for that young man, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Or something. I mean, we don't have a history of statues for, the football program, but I don't know, maybe they've got a little spot, carved out over there when they get all the construction stuff cleared and they get everything done, where they'll go, hey, if somebody ever does something here of real significance, like wins a Heisman Trophy, this would be where we'd put a statue. Or if
be a good spot for
if
it.
a coach leads us to a national championship, this would be kind of where we would do that. Mm-hmm. By the way, for the first time on my way to work this morning, and I'm going to view this as a good sign, but for one of the very first times, the stadium lights weren't on over at Jones Stadium. I mean, those guys have been working like banshees over there for the last year and 9 months. The last time I was over there, middle part of last week, I mean, there was still quite a construction type stuff going on, but my understanding from things that I'd read is some construction trailers were going to start being moved out of the east side, and that parking would be at about 60% of what it was a year ago. But there would still be some construction offices because they still got a major construction site right behind Jones Stadium with the football training facility.
Yep. All good news there.
Yeah, all good news.
Speaking of statues, did you see who's getting a statue?
Yes. Adrian Beltre.
I'm torn. Do you want him on a knee, swinging the ball, swinging his bat and hitting a home run? Or do you want him like walking into the dugout without his hat on so everybody can rub his head for luck as they're walking into the stadium? I don't know which version of the statue I want, but more.
Well, they asked him this question the other night on the broadcast, and he felt like the on a knee was the thing to go with.
Well, yeah, but it's the one I want. I don't know which one of the two I would want more.
Well, and Matt Hicks and Eric Nadel were kicking this around, and they talked about, and Jared Sandler too, would you want him in a defensive position like he's scooping up a ground ball? But they came to the I think the consensus of the swinging with the knee almost on the ground.
Oh, it was on the ground.
On the ground.
Yeah, on the ground. Yeah, on the ground.
I don't know which one I'd want. I don't know which would be cooler as a fan to see. I mean, we all have the iconic picture of Beltre doing, because he did it like 3 or 4 times, where he hits the home run on the knee. But being able to rub his head for luck, that feels like a fan thing to be able to do. I don't know. Well, it's like Lincoln's nose. It'd be completely polished all the time.
Here's the good news. They're not going to have to wait very long, fans aren't, to see it, because they're going to have it up, I think, sometime next year. So that's good that they'll do that with the other guys that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, like him, like Pudge and Nolan Ryan.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Great to have you with us today on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that of the mobile app. The mobile app presented by Happy State Bank. Couple things. I don't know if we know anything yet because they haven't really announced anything yet, but they did scrimmage over the weekend. My guess is that it was a good scrimmage, that they got the things done that needed to get done. Hopefully nobody got hurt. Not that they're going to announce that anybody got hurt, but when Coach McGuire meets next to the media, he usually does a pretty good job of making it known if somebody's unavailable or was held out. Not necessarily the complete nature of the injury, which is understandable, but there was a mention of I thought we were going to have a really good defense, could be one of the best in the nation. I'm like, oh man, let's tap the brakes there. Let's.
Who was that mentioned by?
The head coach. It's good to be bold. I'm all for it. Just kind of iffy on it when you've got so many guys that you're replacing. But I mean, we've heard one narrative, we've heard 2 narratives all season since the off season. A lot of depth on defense. Okay, a lot of depth. Got a lot of depth. Got a lot of guys that can play. A lot of 1s and 2s. We played X number of guys in one position. Like 36 or whatever the number was. And we've got 3 NFL tight ends. Those are the 2 narratives that stand out to me from the offseason. Okay. So, I guess what I would say is I look forward to seeing that. Right? I look forward to that depth standing up. Yeah. I look forward to that depth in.
If there was a narrative that would slide in front of those 2, or maybe in the middle of those 2, I think there's the narrative of Taj setting the school rushing record.
Sure, yeah, no question. Yeah, that's one as well. Which,
and the narrative from all of us as fans is that no matter what they say, we're nervous about keeping your quarterback healthy.
Mm-hmm. And what does your offensive line look like? Can they do that? And can you also kind of protect him from himself? In other words, making sure that he doesn't try to do too much, right? And go over.
Although those things factor in, but I think the biggest thing is just luck.
Uh-huh.
Because quarterbacks take hits. Quarterbacks run the football. They're going to get tackled. Do they get tackled and rolled up on the wrong way? Do they get tackled and land on their shoulder, not land on their shoulder? I mean, yes, good offensive line factors in. Yes, a quarterback that knows how to get rid of the football or get out of the pocket in time and get up the field. Yes, a quarterback that doesn't run it as much. All those things help. But a big part of it is just pure luck.
Which it seems like you're
I mean, especially when you're seeing guys that get hurt on non-contact plays, right? Like Dylan Spencer.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's a big physical, pass rushing dude, not some scrawny little quarterback, right?
Right.
And he's done for the year just making a cut. Nobody's touching him. It's luck. There's so much of it's just pure luck.
And we haven't had any.
At the quarterback position, no doubt.
Except bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we're due. There is no doubt that you're due some luck. So,
but on the flip side, if Morton didn't get hurt last year and Shuck didn't get hurt last year, we wouldn't be talking about Taj Brooks this year. We wouldn't be talking about breaking the all-time rushing record at Tech.
Yeah, maybe not.
Because it was...
But I think we'd prefer to be talking about another 9-win season on the horizon or something.
Right. Yeah. Hey, can you go...
I appreciate you trying to be positive, Jeff. Yeah.
We don't all have to be doom and gloom when the quarterback goes down.
Your point is valid.
Can we go back-to-back with 8-win seasons, or even 9-win seasons like Jamie pointed out. So I don't know. I think one thing we're going to hear at some point in time this week. I don't know who's all going to be made available, but somebody at some point in time this week is going to say, "We're tired of hitting each other. We're ready to hit somebody else." Okay.
That question's been asked a couple of times already.
Yeah.
If they're ready to hit somebody else.
Yeah.
I thought it was fitting when we asked the linebackers if they were tired of being bounced off of Taj. Not hitting Taj, being bounced off of Taj. They laughed.
Yeah.
I just think athletes like to compete, and they like to ultimately, at the end of the day, be a winner or a loser. And to me, it's not as much about who they're hitting in practice or whatever. It's just like they want to be able, at the end of the day, as a team, as a collective group, feel like, hey, we won or we lost.
Lace them up and let it go. Yeah.
It's just, being out there and pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding, and there's no prize at the end of being able to say we won.
And you think about it. I mean, they spend so much time in the off season with conditioning and classwork and technique and lifting and running and practicing and practicing and practicing, and you get 12 opportunities. Plus, if you make it to the Big 12 championship game, or you make it to a bowl game, or you make it to the college football playoff, you've got additional opportunities. But at the start of the year, you're guaranteed 12. You got 12 opportunities to do something, and you spend, basically 9 months preparing for 3 months. And so you kind of really hope that that pans out for them. Let's see. Somebody says this. I don't know where they get the math, but I'll play along here and see what you guys say. Statistically, there is a 66% chance a running back will get injured in a season over a quarterback at 32%. We really should be more worried about Taj than Barron. Well, I guess I look at it from the standpoint of kind of what your history has been, that you've had a struggle in keeping a quarterback healthy. So I understand the risk to Taj and the tailbacks and things like that. It's just quarterback is the engine of this thing. I don't care what level of football that you're playing at. If you don't have a quarterback that can direct traffic or throw the ball or get the proper play off, then you're not doing anything. I'm not saying you can just replace Taj Brooks, but you've got some guys there that can handle the load.
Definitely, it feels like at the NFL level, the more likely injuries are to the running backs. It feels like those guys get injured more than the quarterbacks do. But just going off of what we've seen here at Texas Tech in the quarterback position, it feels like that's been the one that's been the more troublesome area, even though the numbers, what he's saying there, makes sense to me. Just hasn't been the case here.
Yeah,
we've been the exception or the oddball in that mix.
That's right. Let's see. Football team, men's and women's basketball, baseball, soccer. Seems like we've had more than our share of bad luck as far as season-ending injuries. Time to pass it on to someone else. And then there's
totally agree.
Can we vote who? I got a couple options we can send it to.
Yep.
Yeah. But you're right. It seems like that we have had our fair share. It's somebody else's turn.
I even think we've gotten some other people's fair shares.
That's right.
We've been selfish. We've been stealing shares
from
many teams across the conference.
Is it like Disney stock where it splits when it gets to a certain point? We have to deal with it again. I don't know.
Well, baseball on the air for you tonight. Astros and the Red Sox. Red Sox battling for a wild card spot. Astros for a division title, 640 on 100.7 The Score. And then Rangers and the Pirates tonight at 6:30 on Double T 97.3.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Canseco Roofing and Construction.
Okay, I'm going to be a thief today.
A thief?
I'm going to steal from Chuck.
Oh, wow. You must be desperate.
Chuck brought up an idea that I liked.
Oh, okay.
All right, so what are the 3 top storylines for the Red Raiders heading into the season? Don't have to be in order, but just top 3 storylines.
Well, I think now a storyline is how confident are you in being able to kick a field goal 40 yards plus, and who is that person? I think the other storyline is will Baron Morton start 12 games? And more importantly, finish 12 games. There might be some games that, you have a laugher and you put in Cam Brown or somebody else, get Will Hammond some time, maybe Jake Strong too, but only because you're up by 30 or 40 points. And then I think the third thing, is your defense really what you think it is? Not just the defensive line or the linebackers or the defensive backs, but is your defense good enough to hold teams, to, let's just say, under 25 points to give your offense a shot to win?
Chuck took 2 of mine, and that being and that's kind of how this could go. Can we keep Baron healthy for 12 games? And Taj breaking the record, when is it going to happen? Because the way they are talking about it, that's their focus from Big 12 Media Days, that is the goal, that is the stated purpose of this year, is to break the record with Taj. The third thing that I would say, and this may be more from the fan perspective, I don't know that it internally that this has even been mentioned because it's not something they would say there, but can you go 7-0 at home? You look at the schedule, and it's not a gauntlet at home. Can you win 7 of those games? And it's a legitimate conversation to be having that question to kind of say, hey, this is a year you can go undefeated at home. Can you do it?
All right. Is that 3?
That's 3.
That's 3.
Quarterback, running back, and home schedule.
All right. So number 1 for me is this the year that the win-loss record lives up to the hype?
Okay, like 8-4, 9-3. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. I mean, expectations have been raised, and expectations have been high, and you surely did not live up to the hype last year. Okay, and I think there are people out there that are saying, "Hey, like what Joey McGuire's doing a lot. Feel like we're heading in the right direction, but it's time to get that done. It's time to make a leap." Okay. Number 2, I think it kind of ties along with that. New look Big 12 conference. Texas and Oklahoma are gone. Everybody talks about it being wide open. Where does Texas Tech fit in that? Are they a title contender? Where are they going to land when this thing... Because we all feel like, hey, man, this thing's wide open. There's no dominant team anymore. Oklahoma's gone. So we have there's a bunch of teams that feel like they should have a shot to compete.
Come take it, right?
Yeah, so why aren't we in the mix? Why shouldn't we be in the mix? So where does Texas Tech fall in the Big 12 conference and this new look conference. And then number 3 for me is Taj Brooks. Will Taj break the rushing record? Those to me are the 3 big storylines for the Red Raiders.
Okay. If I said to you, Taj is not going to break the rushing record, where is your confidence level of getting to 8 or 9 wins?
It wouldn't change that much. It depends. I mean, did he only end up with 150 because he broke a knee in week 1 and never returned? Or is he at like 960, but Cameron Valdez is involved, your passing game's really good this year, and you're a way more balanced team, so we don't need him to carry the load as much? I mean, shoot, might be better for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hate being negative. I just have this, my gut tells me that record is not going to get broken. That he's not going to get 1,160 some odd yards.
Okay.
Because that's still a nice little tote, you know. I mean, it's
sure
almost a little over, not quite 100 yards a game. And so when you think about 100-yard rushing games, it's not like we've been littered with those over the years.
Feels like last year we were.
Last year we were, yeah, right. Because we were forced to.
Same guy.
Because we were forced to, right? Because we were forced to.
Yeah, but the new look offensive line, we just don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the early reports have not been glowing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's not like you're playing anybody. You're playing your defense. So is that like, well,
I thought they were the best in the nation.
Well, I know it's that
like just,
yin and yang, right?
10 minutes ago, you told me they were the best.
No,
in the nation.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. The head coach said that.
Well, we should be proud for every yard our offense gets. Then,
right? I mean, it's that yin and yang going. Wow, you got the defense. Man, I feel like it could be among the best. And then on the other side, it's like, well, our offensive line just haven't been playing very well. Okay, well, yeah, that's why it's time to play somebody else. It's time to play Abilene Christian. Can we move that up a week?
Are we sure that's going to be better than playing? I mean, I don't know that you're going to have more questions answered.
You could have some questions raised if it doesn't go.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely.
I mean, I agree with you. It's not like you're going to walk out of there and go, oh, man, we got the 85 Bears, Jamie.
Yeah, I think he will break the record. I don't think he'll match last year's number, but I think he'll break the record.
Yeah. If the O-line does their job, Taj breaks the record and QB1 stays healthy. I disagree. I think with how much McGuire has talked about the record, it will get broken. Hopefully some high-yard games from Taj early in the season. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to let him, for lack of a better term, play in garbage time some to make sure that you're...
I hope not.
Well, you just got to be careful there. You don't want the guy to get injured, and get worn down. And then they know those things. Mm-hmm. They know those things. They'll give them a chance to get some high yardage days to to help out, but at the same time they're not going to overdo it. They're smart enough.
Yeah, they know what they're doing over there, right? I would rather Tech focus on team wins than individual records. I think they're focused on the team wins. I don't
think that they're not focused on wins.
Syntax Hank points this out, and this is a fair comment. As accurate as Chuck's gut has been in the past, Taj is guaranteed to not only break the record but smash it. Smash it. Well, hey, I hope you're right, Syntax Hank. I'd love to be wrong. I just, again, what my gut tells me. But you're right. My gut necessarily hasn't been very accurate lately.
Did you put it in an envelope?
No.
Then we're fine. That's when we know.
That's when we know.
That's when we know.
So what do you think his number is going to be about?
I think he'll be over 900, but I think he'll be under the 1160. And if you win 9 ball games, man, or 10, dare to dream, man, that'd be...
Well, then you get a 13th game.
That'd be awesome.
So you have a better chance to do it then.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Great to have you with us today, hour 3 of 3, here this morning on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app for that. Visual Edge IT hotline open too at 806-771-0973. We come to you this morning from the First United Bank studio here in downtown Lubbock, and it's supposed to be hot again today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, till next St. Swithin's Day, okay? Which we missed this year. Really, I was really disappointed that I think it was on the weekend when St. Swithin's Day was this year. So I was disappointed by that. But it is what it is. We'll try to get it next year, Jamie.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we can cross our fingers.
Yeah, it comes around on the calendar every year. This is a week of checking stuff off. You've got the Texas Tech Red Raider Club kickoff luncheon on Thursday. I don't think Brett Yormark is going to be there this year.
Okay.
Okay. So nothing to rile up the opponents this year with any kind of, extra motivation about, Thanksgiving, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So don't have to worry about that. And then also Tech Night is Saturday night at the Knights of Columbus Hall. They're on 130th Street or 1585 if you're an old timer. It's the same street. So that's at, I think things open up at 5 o'clock and they'll serve dinner till 6:30 on Saturday night. Going Band will be there, cheerleaders, Palms, Fearless Champion probably be there as well. Coach McGuire, Kenny Perry, Coach Kitley's going to be there.
So here we have a problem with Fearless Champion.
I saw that. That
multiple reports saying that the new horse doesn't like to run over the double T. I personally don't allow myself to step on a double T.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the same way.
I thought this was me. I mean, when I've seen the horse run down the sideline, he runs down the west sideline. I didn't necessarily see the horse running in the middle of the field. It looks from my vantage point like he's to the west. Yeah, of the double T.
I could believe that.
But apparently, this horse is seeing a mirage and thinks that the double T is a lake. How do we know this? How do we know that the horse thinks it's a lake? I mean, is somebody down there horse talking to this horse, or is this?
They talk to Ed.
Horseman knowledge.
Ed tells him. Ed's pretty smart.
How do we know this?
I'm sure.
Well, he's incredible.
My guess, Chuck, is that the people that deal with horses all the time, like different reactions, give them a good idea of what they think or what they don't think. So I'm sure, like the experience that they have working with horses, they kind of have a good idea of what they like and don't like. And so maybe, let's say, for example, if a horse's reaction when it does, like it's sprinting through the woods and then all of a sudden it comes upon a river or a lake and it slams on the brake and it raises up, if he's doing the same thing in this situation with a double T, maybe that's where they're able to say, well, if he does this in front of a lake and he's doing the same thing here, their very educated guess is that he's seeing that as some sort of water hazard.
And it's not like one of those equestrian horses, like in the Olympics that
are trained to do that.
To jump over the rail and stuff.
It's not that.
I was at the Tech.
It would be cooler if they trained him to jump over the double T, similar to what I do.
Right.
He could make it. He could get enough speed to clear it.
I was over at the Texas Tech Equestrian Center last week. It's a very impressive, very impressive, and I mean this in all sincerity, facility. They've got barns and stables and all kinds of stuff.
Dirt.
It's a big time deal. An indoor arena there.
Sure.
It's named Fearless Champion Arena, which that sign looks way older than any kind of sign that since we've named the horse fearless champion. Somebody says this, it's animal behavioral analysis. Okay. It's like a bunch of horse hockey to me, but okay. It's like, come on. Let's get that, coach that horse up. Come on, let's go. Send Coach McGuire over there. Maybe he can have a talk with that horse. Coach him up a little bit, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems.
Why Coach McGuire and not Coach Kitley?
I think the head coach always. It's always better coming from the horse's mouth, so to speak. The head coach.
Well, Wes Kitley's the head coach. You know that, right?
I thought you were talking about Zach Kitley. Well, we could send Wes Kitley over there. Yeah. We could. We could send the track coach over there. Absolutely. Somebody says this. Well, that's a great explanation, Jamie. It's too good for Chuck to accept. With the team coming out under the south goalpost, the horse may be running down the middle of the field now. That may be the case. Maybe it's safer to do that. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. There's nothing better than seeing that horse run. Man, it is. I mean, that's really good. Seeing that horse run, I enjoy.
Nothing better.
In terms of pregame,
nice to know my cookies weren't very good the other day.
Oh, I would take the horse over cookies, but I wouldn't say nothing better.
Well, in the pregame, I mean that's among the things that I like to see. That's one of the things that I like to see is that horse running. It's
the hardest working horse in college football, isn't it?
Best in the business, yeah. Right.
Running from the greatest stadium and all of the college football.
Why are you mocking? Why are you mocking? I mean, I think it's one of the great traditions of college football.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
I think it's right up there with the flaming arrow and
There's plenty of good ones, but I think ours is very good too. Yeah. It definitely fits into that category. Mm-hmm. That being said, we're biased. We like ours. I'm sure other people think theirs is the best too.
No,
they probably think there's nothing better.
I don't know. It's like I said. It's among the things. It's the best.
I thought it was. One of the best things is when the Oklahoma little wagon went out there and rolled over. I thought that was awesome.
I thought that was awesome. Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Well, as long as nobody was hurt, especially the horses.
Right, or the people.
Yeah, them too. Whatever.
People get trapped. Yeah.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Canseco Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.